All right, welcome back here, Andy.
Hey,
And
Chad, how are you?
so for the owners who were not on before, can you introduce yourself again, where you're at in the world and with your private practice?
Of course. So myself, Andy, I'm the physiotherapist and clinic director of four of the largest outpatient multidisciplinary clinic in Eastern Toronto. We have four clinics located in the city of Oshawa, Whitby, Pickering, and Curtis. We oversee staff of almost 60 staff members. We are a multidisciplinary clinic, so we have a core service as physiotherapy, massage therapy, chiropractic, osteopath, naturopath, and even foot specialist.
Great, thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Yvette, on my screen, can you introduce yourself to everybody here? Yvette? You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
You're good to go. Yep.
Hi, my name is Yvette Sardello. I'm a practice owner in Southern California. Been in private practice for 20 years. We probably have the largest practice in the high desert area where I'm located. I'm about an hour and a half northeast of Los Angeles on the way to Las Vegas. So we're kind of in the suburbs of LA. We are a general orthopedic practice with, we also have a pelvic specialty. We have about 40 employees. We opened up 2 new locations this year, and that's actually why we started with Breakthrough. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Cool. And then a quick introduction here from Jordan.
Yeah, I'm Jordan Zuccarelli. I own a small physical therapy clinic in Salina, Kansas. We've been open just about 4 years now. About 2 weeks, it'll be our 4-year anniversary. And in that time, we've grown from one provider, just me, to now we've got 7 of us on staff.
Wow.
Great. So Jordan, we'll start with you. Before you started with Breakthrough, what were you trying to in growing your practice, and how were you thinking about your marketing?
Yeah, it was just word of mouth. There was such a huge need here in our community when we started that we didn't really have to market. But as we continued to grow, I was left with a gap between the number of providers we had and the number of slots on their schedule, and what we actually needed to run a fully productive and profitable business. So I knew we needed to start doing some marketing. We tried a workshop or 2 on our own, and it was a complete flop. And so we signed up with Breakthrough, and it was night and day.
What flopped? What do you mean flopped?
I mean, we got, I think, across the course of 2 workshops, we had maybe 5 attendees, and nobody converted to an initial evaluation.
And then what are the workshops like now?
We've had as many as 45, and we probably get at least 10 conversions every workshop.
That's great. And what does that mean for you and your practice?
Our initial evaluations have grown. We've changed around some other things as well, but our initial evaluations per month have grown from about 45 to 50, and now we're up at around 89.
Oh, that's all. So you've all. And how
Sorry,
long
you broke up there a little bit.
You've all.
That was, almost doubled since probably June.
Okay, so this is within 6 months.
Yeah.
You've gone 45 to 50 to 89.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Yvette, same
Thank you.
question.
So just like Jordan, we really did not need marketing. Luckily it's word of mouth, and we've grown year after year. And like I said, we've been around for 20 years. And what we saw, though, the trend was in the past 7 years, our payer mix started getting more heavy on managed care, to the point where we were having about 60% of our caseload was managed care. And we all know the reimbursement that's with managed care patients. And so we were like, as we were growing, we were not seeing the same profit margin. And so we decided to give it a push and open up 2 more clinics this year, actually. And I know and starting Breakthrough. So time starved is very, very much of a description. It's all good, but with the decision of opening up 2 new practices, because we were getting really busy with our flagship office, we decided maybe this is time to market. I was kind of in a position where we're going to open these 2 new locations and we don't want it to not have patients right away. So that's when we started with Breakthrough. We wanted to change. The first takeaway with Breakthrough is really changing that payer mix and how to get there. And obviously the workshops and the all the features of Breakthrough. I think we've now had 4. We were slow to start because I was scared to jump in. It was kind of overwhelming in the beginning, like all of these. I'm not very tech savvy, so but what I really liked is the guidance, and I think what really pushed us is people from Breakthrough saying, just got to do it, just got to schedule it, just got to get that workshop, the first workshop in. So we did start. We've now had 4 workshops. The cool thing is that we did get self-pay patients out of it. And our practice is like 99% insurance. And so the workshop, what it did for us was get patients that are out of network and self-pay patients in the practice. So we didn't think people would really pay cash for the services. So that's number 1. Anyway, yeah, that's what Breakthrough did for us. The most response we've got though with Emily, using Emily just recently, which is crazy, is we tried to reactivate our Medicare patients because it's end of the year and we sent this email that you have allowance for the year and if you haven't used it, and within 10 hours we've had 280 responses, and I sent that. I know earlier this morning, Chad was saying that we didn't know what are we going to do with these people. I sent that chat on Thursday morning, and by Saturday morning we had like I said, almost 300 responses. And I've now since hired 1 virtual assistant to just really look at those text messages because we could not handle all of them. And we've activated so far about 40 Medicare patients just from last week.
That's great.
This is really cool.
How about some love for you in the chat, everybody? And same question, thanks for sharing there, Yvette. And then same question for you, Andy. I know you were on earlier. For those audience members who didn't hear, practice owners who didn't hear, can you talk about what life was like before Breakthrough, what you were trying to do, and then what success you've had right now in growing your practice?
Of course. So we started Breakthrough. It's been 4.5 months already. As we have 4 clinics, like almost 60 staff member combined weekly, we see over 900 appointments right now, which is huge. So to manage that kind of heavy volume locations, we needed a centralization to our ad campaigns. We had our centralized marketing agency before, but they were not able to deliver on the promises, what promises were made to us, right? We pretty much spending the same dollar value in terms of ad budgets. We have seen our new assessments. I'm seeing weekly over 40 new assessments combined at one location. So you can say I'm pretty much seeing 160 new assessments a week. And that has increased my sales. In July, we started with Chad and his team. I have a Whitby location, which is currently enrolled with Chad. I have in Ontario in Canada, we have one of the designated government-funded location as well. So we do get funding from that. But the private side, let's say we were around 70K. After having Chad, in last 4 months, I'm clocking 140K private. So 200% jump in 4 months. I had to hire 2 more physios. I myself had to jump in as a physio. And yeah, we clocking over 200K now, which is day and night. And we maximizing the workshop. Every month we're doing workshop, whether it's rotator cuff, low back pain, knee, pelvic floor. Every workshop I've been sending the photos and videos to our client care manager, Giselle. She's fantastic as well. We have over like 40 to 50 attendees each workshops, and we convert at least 20 patients every workshop. 20 patients. So if you think it that way, a dollar value assessment is, let's say, 120. You almost having 15K in revenue booked out of one workshop, which is phenomenal. And the Emily, the AI automation from Breakthrough is next level. When we do our workshop campaigns or even text campaigns and email campaigns, we had our pelvic floor. We are also one of the designated pelvic floor clinic here as well. We have 3 of the female physiotherapists, level 3. We also have a state-of-the-art pelvic floor chair. So basically, that helps us to do the workshop for postpartum and also for the ladies who are senior have incontinence issues. So we did a text campaign. On a day of VIP day, I had 50 attendees booked on schedule, back to back. And out of 50 attendees, we converted 20 of them who booked like $1,000 pelvic floor packages for their 6 visits. So I think the system, Chad is right, his team is right. You need to have system in flow. You need to have automation in flow. You need to have system which works so you can focus on patient-centered care. You cannot do everything by yourself nowadays. Otherwise, you're going to get burned out.
Andy, love it. You absolutely crushed it. I do want to just clean something up. I know you're giving me all the credit here. This is really the team. We're about to bring the team on that builds all this.
Of course.
Get to work with all of you. So one quick question for the 3 of you before we jump into the next session. What workshops are you running right now, and how long do they typically last? So Andy, we'll start with you.
Yeah, we've been running, we pretty much have built our next 6 months of calendar for workshops. So we have had rotator cuff, we have had low back pain, we have had pelvic floor workshop, and we also side-by-side running shockwave and laser as well. So those 5 are our key points. So how we have strategized is that every month we're doing a one joint specific workshop and also one modality specific. Because people are searching nowadays that, hey, what laser is doing, what shockwave is doing. So by one joint specific workshop, we targeting the most common problem as well for that particular month. But on top of that, we marketing a generalized advanced modality like shockwave and laser, because then we getting inquiries. Hey, I have shoulder pain, I have back pain, I have plantar fasciitis. For all that, we can use lasers and shockwave as well, when clinically indicated. So we targeting in a smart way so that we get maximum exposure, and out of that maximum exposure, we want maximum conversions. And once the patient comes, we want to do a plan of care, meaning someone coming for plantar fasciitis, I don't want to tell them I'm here to fix you in 2 visits. No, based on the chronicity and acuteness of the condition, it's going to at least take minimum of 4 to 6 weeks. So do a plan of care so that we work on the metrics of average patient count. You don't want to discharge the patient in like 4 visits, but rather have the average patient count of 6 to 8, so that even one of the week or month is going little down, you have plan of care patients booked already in your schedule, and your schedule is always going to be 90% packed.
Nice. Andy, I could let you talk all day. Love listening to you talk. Yvette, same question for you. What's your most successful workshop so far, and how long do they typically last?
The most successful, how long is, you mean the actual duration of the program, the workshop? The workshop is just about, the actual workshop is about 25 to 30 minutes. And then we reserve the 30 minutes for interaction, for questions and answers, which is really, really nice. But to answer the first question, the most successful one was last month when we did the shoulder workshop with AI. That was really a very big difference, because the first 2 shoulder workshops that we did did not include AI. But the response, we kind of panicked, and your team can probably tell you what happened. And we're like, we are getting so many responses. We have no space for all these people. We have 160 people RSVP and blah, blah, blah. But like you said, not everybody's going to show. When they see the ad, they register, and they, you know, if you have 30% attendees, that's perfectly fine. We had about 40 with that workshop, which is really good. But we were prepared in case they all showed up. We kind of set up 2 areas and we split and conquered. We have 2 therapists ready to do the workshop simultaneously in different rooms. But it worked out well. But that was the most successful, was because really Emily was truly engaging patients with full-on conversations. And we laughed because there was one conversation. She said, "Oh," one of the patients says, "Hey, Emily, where are you from?" And then she answered, "Oh, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm in Pittsburgh, but you know, the workshop is in California," and really engaging patients. It's pretty interesting, actually.
Great. And Jordan, you can bring us home here. Most successful workshop, how long are you typically running them?
Yeah, I think so. Our first workshop, we did rotator cuff without Emily's assistance, and then our second one, we had signed up with Emily, and that one was much more effective. And then we've also done balance, which was equally effective. We just trialed the new running funnel this past week, and that was effective, but that was probably our least well attended one. But we're in a smaller city of about 50,000, so each workshop lasts, I would say, probably around an hour and a half by the time we get through all the questions and everything.
Great. How about?
So we had to rename our Emily because we have a clinic dog named Emily, so that got a little confusing for people.
What did you rename your Emily to?
Well, we renamed it Jordan, and then patients were coming in saying, "Oh, well, I talked to Jordan about this." So, wait a minute, I didn't talk to you about it. So I think we've renamed it Lauren now.
Lauren, perfect. Yvette, Jordan, Andy, thank you so much for doing this. How about some love for these 3 practice owners that are sharing in the webinar chat from everybody? That'd be great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.